In this video, I'm going to show you how to back up and restore your Zigbee networks from the Zigbee Home Automation integration in Home Assistant, along with showing you which files you need to pay attention to if you ever have to manually back things up. Once we have a backup, we have to make sure that it works. So we'll take our backup and restore it. We'll then also migrate radios from an old coordinator to a new one. But let's say you have a backup and you want to move your Zigbee integration from one Home Assistant instance to another. So how would you do that? The Zigbee Home Automation integration also allows for the ability to export a backup manually from the integration instead of automatically through the Home Assistant backup service. That way, we don't have to restore our entire Home Assistant instance just to restore Zigbee. To do that, you'll go to the Devices and Services section and you'll go over to the Zigbee Home Automation integration and you'll click on that. On this page, you'll go over to the configure button. Now you'll see your network settings here. But what you want to do is click download backup. It will sit there for a moment and generate an archive with your entire network's configuration and other related settings that it needs. The export is finished. It will download this JSON file to your desktop or wherever your browser has your downloads configured. We're going to go back to the integrations page. We're going to go to the Zigbee Home Automation and we are going to delete this entire thing. So go ahead and click delete. It'll say everything will be deleted. That's fine. Click delete. You may or may not need to reboot your system after this. I usually do it just to be safe. That way there's no random data hanging around. So go ahead and reboot. Back here on the integrations page, you should have an auto-discovered Zigbee Home Automation integration. You can go ahead and click add. You'll say, do you want to set this up? Go ahead and click submit. Now this box will pop up. When you first set up your network, you probably chose erase network and create a new network. But this time we want to upload a manual backup. This is the backup that we created a moment ago. Go ahead and click that, upload the file that we downloaded a moment ago. So once you've done that, go ahead and click submit. After you do that, you should see a couple of options here for the devices on your network. On this Sonoff, it has a couple of built-in devices, so you can go ahead and choose whatever you want for these. And then this was the shortcut button that I added in my previous video where I demoed how to install the Sonoff. So this was already there before we backed up our network. So we can go ahead and choose the area for that one too. And then click finish. Now, if you'll notice, this name is not what we had originally named it. That's the only catch with doing the manual backup of the integration, is that this integration name right here is not part of the integration. It only backs up the devices and the network settings. So we need to rename this again. So this matches what we had before. So you can go ahead and click OK. If we go ahead and click configure, and your network settings should remain the same as before we deleted the integration and restored it. Now, eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed that there's also this migrate radio option under the Zigbee Home Automation network settings. This option is different from the download backup option because migrate radio is for when you have a new coordinator, a brand new stick that you want to use instead of your current one. So in this example, I have the Sonoff ZBDongle-P that I've installed in the system. If I had another option, such as the SM Lite SL-ZB06, or maybe a Home Assistant Connect or something like that, or even another Sonoff option, you can migrate the entire radio's state, which is how all your devices are connected together, along with all of your settings to that new device. So you can click that one. It will stop the integration, but then when you click submit and go through the options, it will give you two different options to either reconfigure the current one or migrate to a new one. And so if you were moving to a new coordinator stick, you would click this migrate to a new radio. Now, before you do that, your old radio will need to be reset. That way there's no interference from the old coordinator trying to talk to the same devices as the new coordinator. That way your network only lives on one coordinator at a time. Do you wish to continue? We already have the backup from earlier. If you don't, make sure you back that up first, and then we'll click submit. This is where you'll choose the serial port of your new Zigbee radio. And so if we click this drop-down box, we can see that I have the Home Assistant Sky Connect on this system in addition to the Sonoff. Since we were on the Sonoff, I'm going to choose the Sky Connect as our new Zigbee coordinator. We're going to restore from an automatic backup, choose the latest, and click submit. If you're wondering where automatic backups came from, the Zigbee Home Automation integration does them automatically when you install and configure it. So you don't need to set up automatic backups when you use the integration, but the integration does it for you. That's pretty sweet. So after unplugging the Sonoff and rebooting Home Assistant, you should see just one entry here. Now, it will be a little confusing at first because you're like, hey, we removed the Sonoff. Why does it still show the Sonoff name and the product name? So this is our user-friendly name that we edited before. And that one's not changed when we migrate radios. So we need to go back here and change the name of this to something different. Just Home Assistant, Home Assistant Connect, and then click OK. If we go into our devices, we can see that the Connect is listed here and that the Sonoff is nowhere to be seen. So we know that it's only looking at our new radio, but we just had to make sure that the name was changed up front after we did the migration. And of course, clicking on this device, you can see all of the device info, such as the firmware version and all the devices that are connected. And if we're attached to any automations, they would show up here. But of course, none of this means anything if you don't have a Zigbee coordinator run your network on. So check out this video where I review the Sonoff ZBDongle-P, which is a great option for offline smart homes using Zigbee. And I'll see you in the next one.